The Secretary General of UDA party is struggling in Western to explain to the public why the housing levy that is imposed to implement the housing plan is about the good of the country, and instead starts playing blame games on MPs who sit in parliament to pass those laws. What exactly is the problem? In an attempt to try to implicate, to blame some of the MPs on this, backfired. Malala was heckled and told off about an attempt to blame MPs for these bills. Welcome to the bold analysis. The Secretary General of UDA party, Cleophas Malala, is supposed to defend the government he serves. And as a government, when you defend a policy, what I expect is someone like Malala defending a government policy on the dividends, on the benefits of especially housing levy. President William Ruto has been on top of the car talking about the dividends of housing levy, the issues of we are creating jobs, the stories about the people are going to own houses, and so on and so forth. So what I literally expect is when a Secretary General of that ruling party, whose objective, or rather whose role is to defend government, is supposed to explain to the public how the housing levy is good, on the benefits of housing levy. But when he took the microphone attending a burial in Lurambi, the father to Lurambi MP Bishop Titus Hamada, he instead castigated Western MPs. He had tried to castigate Western MPs who blindly support policies. I'm so interested in that sound bite, and I want you to listen to it because I want you to get the context and understand from Malala's point of view. Is the problem the bill or the MPs who supported the bill? Then after that, when the Deputy Governor Savola took the microphone, he saw fire.
Jaribu sana. Kama nilikuwa namenyana na hao watu wote hivi, basi nilijaribu sana. Lakini mimi naomba Oparaja na jeshi lako uninisukuma. Ile kitu nimefurahia ni kwamba hawa wanachama wa ODM inafaa wajue kwamba mimi niliingia ODM kabla wengi wao, sababu mimi Ruto alipitia kwa chama cha ODM. So ODM haiwezi kuwa adui ya UDA kwa sababu ODM imetukuza sisi wote. Ukisikia vile watu wanaongea hapa, na mimi nakubaliana sana na Mheshimiwa Jack Wamboka kwamba mambo ya UDA na mwisho kabisa, mimi kwa sababu niko nyumbani leo, mimi nasema kura, napiga kura. Wewe either upite ama uanguke, lakini kutoka leo unge wa Lurambi, you have my 100 support kutoka kwa chama yangu na kutoka kwa familia yangu. That I am saying. Nimepata basari kwa uhaki. Mheshimiwa Kamala, being a bishop has helped you. Sababu kama ungekuwa bishop, sijui tungekaa aje. Wote ambao wameongea hapa leo kwa masuala ya kuunga mkono Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga kukuwa chairperson wa AU Commission. Muliona kule Nairobi, chama cha UDA kilitoa taarifa maalum ikasema kwamba kama mzalendo wa Kenya amejitolea kukuwa chairman wa AU, itakuwa makosa sana sisi tuingize ndani siasa ya kinyumbani. Rais wetu, party leader wetu akasema tuweke siasa kando, tumuunge mkono Raila Odinga awe AU chairperson. Ili kupata kule AU, Raila akiwa chairperson wa AU, ndio huyo Oparanya anaweza kuwa party leader wa ODM. Lakini bado mnakuja mnasema Oparanya apate hiyo AU chair. Mimi ningependa kuwaomba Mheshimiwa Kwamboka, sometimes strategy is good. Hata kujifanya hata muelewi kidogo, ndio tuweze mpate kura ya Raila pale AU. Lakini kitu imenishangaza leo hii hapa ni ya kwamba hao wabunge wanaongea points mzuri, points za taxes. Hata mimi ni mwananchi wa kawaida, ni ukweli ushuru ukiongozwa inaongezwa kwa sisi wote. Lakini ile kitu ya kushangaza ni hao wabunge wote wakati ya kupiga kura kwa bunge ya kuongeza hizo ushuru wanakuanga kule wakipiga kura hizo huko. Mimi ni Secretary General wa chama cha UDA. Niko na list ya watu ambaye walipitisha housing fund. Niko na list ambaye watu walipitisha finance bill. Hawa wabunge wako katika hiyo list ambaye watu walipiga kura kule. So we want to tell our members of parliament, mambo ya kukuja kwa matanga, kuanza kukashifu mambo ya ushuru, unadanganya hawa watu bana. Niseme nisiseme, nitoboe nisitoboe, let us not be cheap. Mheshimiwa Kwamboka, wewe umekuwa kwa bunge juzi, kwa ile list ya kupiga tick ulipiga tick. Wewe Mheshimiwa Mugabe ulikuwa pale ulipiga tick. Sasa tuache kudanganyana tafadhali. So mimi naomba tafadhali, kila kiongozi ako na kasoro yake, lakini naomba tafadhali msimame na viongozi ambao wanatawala Kenya hii. Ukipiga dereva mawe na umuumize, ataweka gari kwa mtaro. Rais William Ruto ndio dereva wa taifa la Kenya. Kama anakosea, muombe, murekebishe polepole. Juzi tumekuwa na mkutano katika State House Nairobi. Muliona katika State House hapa Kakamega, wakati rais alikuja Kakamega, jioni, kila jioni kwa siku 3 tulikuwa tunakaa wote, viongozi wote na rais. Hao wabunge muliona hata picha yao kama wamekaa na rais. Wakifika pale hawasemi chochote. Wacheni mchezo bana. Hizi points unasema kwa matanga, mkikutana na rais, make sure you articulate the same points. Wewe Samura, si ulikuwa kwa hiyo mkutano? Ulisema nini wewe? Hiyo ni uongo. Hiyo ni uongo mtupu. Uongo kabisa. Watu kama wao kwa sababu anaangua kura, kwa sababu huyu Jack alipiga no. Wacha uongo kwa matanga ya bishop. Being foolish. Ulisema nini wewe? Watu kama wao kwa sababu anaangua kura, kwa sababu ya uongo kwa matanga. Sio hivyo? Mkienda Hansard Mugabe alipiga no. Mkienda Hansard huyu Jack alipiga no. Wacha uongo kwa matanga ya bishop. Being foolish.
Now that is what I was talking about. I understand that MPs that supported, said no, voted no for that bill, are in the minority. Majority of those who said no are in the minority. And so what happened later is the fact that there been an attempt, and this was seen across. Those who opposed housing tax, or those who those who supported housing tax, would rather be comfortable talking about that housing levy in the TV stations and defending it in their social media, and probably in these corridors, restaurants and bars were talking with their peers. But an attempt to explain to their constituents the benefits of that housing levy has not been made. They don't explain about it, and more of it is good can only be spoken when people are in Nairobi. But when they retreat to those villages, they are finding it difficult to explain. Remember in Mount Kenya, that farm housing tax brought chaos, brought issues, and at a time when there was a debate on whether that is the right thing or not, the MPs even chased KRA officials. Now, what do you understand? Because you see, he tried to, those MPs, those Western MPs took that podium to hit President Ruto on the issue of that housing levy. The fact that it is not helping the people. And when Malala took the microphone, Malala did not defend, and I wish State House handlers listens to that video. Malala did not defend housing levy on the merits, but tried to create fake spin and a twist that the MPs should not talk about housing levy, while himself he doesn't sit in parliament. While he's the Secretary General of UDA, yes, he doesn't sit in parliament, but those MPs sit in parliament when those bills are passed. And I think that's a big lie. This is it. What Malala is not telling the public is that William Ruto is using the majoritarian advantage in parliament. So the discussion about who voted for no and who voted for yes, the fact that some minority members are voting for it or not, I don't think it's a viable argument. Because at the end of the day, William Ruto has a majority there. In Senate, when that housing levy was presented, the speaker, the makeshift speaker, who is a Bomet senator, even reduced debating time. Sifuna, who is a leader in the Senate and has some privileges to speak, especially at length on such matters, was not given that privilege. So you can see the way there was a lot of stifling of that bill even in the Senate. So it is not true that it is these MPs that are the problem. The problem is the bill itself. And now, I just want to break it down in simple terms and explain why the UDA team are finding it difficult to defend that housing levy dividends. Why they can't explain those dividends. Before we do that, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. Thank you very much for your support in this channel. Thank you very much for even supporting our charity programs. I just want to do a side note, or I'll do it at the end. Now, there's some reasons why this cannot be explained, why people are not finding it easy to explain. Number one, the dividends of housing levy, especially the page on jobs, is not there. And if those jobs are created, then in the whole Kakamega County, like that was in Lurambi, how many housing projects are going on? Few. And without second guessing, they are more than 3. They are less than 3. In fact, it might even be none. I don't remember President Ruto launching affordable housing there. It is 1. Now, if there is 1 site of affordable housing, do you want to tell me that that site can even absorb even a mere 20%, not even 20, even 10% of young people in those jobs? So the job pitch, if some jobs are being created, it's a drop in the ocean. I understand. I can second guess that all those who attended that funeral, those young people, the youth that were in that event, not even 5% of them work in those sites. So there is there is a gap. People are not connecting. The connection is not coming out clearly between the affordable housing and the job. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is if you have a project and people are feeling that project, then you will not even struggle to explain to them that this project is giving us this and that. You will not even have that problem. But because those jobs are not existing, it is difficult to explain on that. Number two, the politicians know, it's only some members of the public who doesn't know, that the rule, or rather the bill, the housing bill, was amended. And now, there is a vicious attempt to go and collect that levy from people who are also non-salaried. Now, if the moment that will be effected, that's where the public uproar will start. And when it starts, it's going to be very murky. It's going to be very hectic. And that is why politicians would rather want to trade blame games on this and that, this and that. So trading those blame games is because on those individuals, because you know very well that if the levy starts hitting the common man will also come hitting you. Number three, the series of court cases halting and amending housing levy has created enough awareness in public that there are some legal bottlenecks on that amendment. And in fact, some people will understand the legal bottlenecks. Yes, there is a click, even what is there. Those who will understand, okay, court is saying it's illegal because you cannot tax those who are paid by salaries, the people that have formal employment, and to leave out people in the informal. So there are those who understand. But some fellows in the village will understand that even the courts have refused the housing levy. So people have already created resistance against the bill. And maybe, someone like Secretary General of the UDA party understands very well that this is not working. The public knows what they want. And what they want is not that bill. Lastly, I think the president has also retreated from talking about that. Of course, it's still in parliament. I've heard him in a couple of videos saying the way MPs should pass that bill. But even himself, he seems to be backtracking and now sitting back and is not talking about it. Remember, I tend to understand that some of even these UDA Secretary Generals, they're not so much having a directive on what they say. They simply sit home and watch news and they listen what the president is saying, or follow president's event, listen what he's saying. If what president says something in Makueni, then the Secretary General, when also attended another funeral somewhere, he just echoes what the president has said for the sake of consistency, but cannot come out and speak out his mind. The truth is, even the politicians know very well that housing levy is a scam. Now, I want to do my side thought. It's not related to this, and I just want to speak to UDA bloggers and Bianca. I have seen a UDA blogger complaining and saying that we should not complain about the Linda Mama because the new health scheme is coming. This is just a sidebar. And I want to put an explainer. The chief could be having good benefits. It's not a bad idea. But women should not suffer in that transition. I went to Mama Lucy. I sat down with that CEO, Mr. Wafula. I walked to the wards. Maliwa mama wamejifungua. We managed under the board to discharge 15. We did not solve the problem. Even we did not solve the full problem. Even if we decide we are going back to release others, it is still viable. There are still others that are still stuck there. So, Linda Mama so far has been paying 5,000. What I implore on Waziri, as this process takes effect, if it's supposed to help, not all, if like what used to happen with Linda Mama is different with what's happening now. Linda Mama will call under to register. Shall register to be paid. Irrespective of NHIF. There are those who didn't have NHIF but have Linda Mama. On this one, we need to talk different. Chief must work separate. If Linda Mama was specifically helping those women, and we need to think about a special kitty for them, I think. Thank you guys.